Back in Houston, Texas for race stop number 3, season 3. It's the WPH race for 8 and a $200,000 purse throughout the season. My name is Dave Vincent. John Bike sitting to my left, Hall of Famer, also number 1 seed in the senior race for 8 tour in this tournament. John, it's Marco Chavez on the left. He's, as I said before we went to the break, he is the Cinderella story. He defeated Nadi Alvarado in that lucky loser and then got put into the lucky loser bracket. But that's the first win for him against Nadi Alvarado, and he's going up against a guy that he hasn't defeated lately. Maybe earlier on in Emmett's career, there were a few losses there for Emmett. But Marco Chavez is now going up against Emmett Peixoto from Watsonville, California. Marcos lives in Buena Park, California. And now you see our referees trying to get these guys sorted.
Yeah, interesting. I think you nailed it as far as the progression. Marcos at one time would have won every time they played, and right now Father Time taking its toll just a bit on Marcos as Emmett continues to improve, and we're looking. It would be an upset if Marcos won today, but no bigger upset than what he pulled off yesterday though with Nadi Alvarado.
Yeah, that's a pretty big upset. But you know, think about this. Marcos is also in the 40s, and he had to play Dan Armijo this morning in a match. So he's already got another match under his belt. I believe this is match number 5 now for Marcos. And match number 3, is that right, for Emmett Peixoto? I don't have all the brackets in front of me.
Probably just Emmett's second.
Second match for him.
So yeah, that's now Marcos. That doesn't faze him at all. One thing is he's really got a smooth style that he only exerts himself at certain times. He certainly did against Nadi yesterday. But also he says he plays 14 games a day of big ball. So he feels like 5 or 6 matches should be no big deal at all.
The second quarterfinal match of the day. Serving first, Marco Chavez from Orange County. And receiving serve, Emmett Peixoto from Watsonville, California. San Francisco, California.
Originally from Watsonville, now living in San Francisco.
Right.
And Emmett wanted to make sure all of his fans knew that. Marco Chavez demanded we had a new ref, and they got Luis Cordova into the hot seat here.
Certainly couldn't be any harder to ref than what we just saw. And reflecting on that match, the only real winner in that match was the referee. We found out he was also correct in the double bounce call. He just didn't. He did actually go to his linesman and appeal, and the linesmen were split. And in that case, he does have the option of playing it over. So a perfect game. Congratulations to Anthony Celestio on the perfect reffing game. Only been achieved twice before in the race for 8 history.
Well, Anthony, this is a magical place for Anthony here in Houston.
Things happen.
Big upsets, and threw a perfect game today.
1-0.
Now there could be a rule there too. Referee calls the score, and then you dribble it off your foot. You have 10 seconds to serve. There's a few.
1-0.
By the book, he had 10 seconds from that point. He still might have made it, though. You don't realize how long 10 seconds is.
I agree. But what about calling the score and then throwing it down and hitting your foot, though? Is there a rule for that?
I think he's just SOL on that. I mean, as a courtesy, Emmett didn't push it. Ooh.
Point.
Yeah, if you got David Fink in the backcourt there, he's going 10 seconds. He's got 10 seconds to serve.
That's right. Let's see how that underhand serve works for Marcos against Emmett.
Smart shot. Yeah, you're going to see later on today, and
0 serves 2.
Actually, Marcos will be playing the fastest man in senior handball this afternoon, Andy Shad. But you're going to see a remarkable difference in this match. I'm noticing Emmett kind of makes Marcos look like the slower player. But
2 serves 0.
Once he gets to the 40 and overs, his pace will fit right in, even though he will be playing the fastest. Actually, I'm looking forward to that one. Now that I talked myself into that.
Out.
Marcos not too quick on that shot right there, and Emmett is a lean and fit machine who can get to any ball hit, known as one of the top get artists in the game and has been since he was about 17.
Second serve.
He had shoulder surgery that kept him out of the game for a little bit of time there, and And really, that's the difference with
Hold
Emmett.
it.
There's a lot of contact screen stuff going on. Emmett raises his hand. Referee finally calls it. Referee is Luis Cordova from Florida, originally
0 serves 2.
Juarez, Mexico.
And following the protocol, the true winner of that match,
out.
Anthony Celestio, has checked into the booth.
Well, the great thing about Anthony is he not only threw a perfect game as a referee,
2 serves 0.
but then he came to the booth and supplied everybody with food. So,
Can't say enough about this
Point.
guy.
well, he's an amazing person.
Marcos squeaks the early lead right
3
here.
serves 0.
John, in your pro playing days, oh, there's
Hold it.
a screen.
Yeah.
Now, could a referee call unavoidable there?
3
Because
serves 0.
you have a player pinned to the left, and then they come across
Short.
you, and it has to stop the play.
I called it
That's
short.
not how I saw it. I thought he
Both
was
agree.
kind of already there.
Second serve.
I guess I was only half watching. You were starting to question about pro career, and I just locked eyes with you and took my eye off the screen for a second. But yeah,
In your
if
pro
he
career-
came off the wall, I'd call it unavoidable, but I'm not sure that's what I saw there.
In your pro career, when you play guys that can really change the
out.
pace of the ball, either really load up and hit it hard, but also have a really slow, methodical game, you always feel just a little uneasy when you go in the court against them because you just don't
0
know what
serves
you're going to
3.
get.
It's just the ideal
Short.
way to play. I wouldn't say you're like in fear of it or worrying
Second
about
serve.
it in advance, but yeah, while the match is also actually going on, seeing shots hit at all different speeds definitely can take you out of your rhythm. It's kind of where baseball pitching has evolved now. That's very rare is a guy who can bring everything
Point.
one speed anymore and get away with it.
Well, you see that Marcos, he is so relaxed in there. It's kind of a mind game in a way by how confident he
3.
is with that little paddle
Short.
game of his. But then when he wants to load up and play crazy ground and pound, he can hang with
Second
anybody.
serve.
Yeah, he's got a very live arm when he chooses to unleash it. And this is how you can project that. I mean, he's got a minimum of 3 more matches
Point.
this weekend, and if he keeps winning, because he's got to drop down, win or lose in this match, and you can project
2
that
serves
he'll
3.
get through all of them with this style of play.
Short. Second serve.
You just wonder if he happens to win this match and get the potential rematch with Nash. That's another historical occasion if that were to happen.
It's very interesting.
How does he approach the Andy Shad Masters
Cut out.
match, which comes in between these two?
Well, I was worried how he would
3
approach
serves 2.
that Dan Armijo match, but he just said it was a warm-up
It's a good way to look
for
at it.
this.
Cut out.
This could easily be a war. I mean, if he's going to get
2 serves
spent
3.
anywhere this weekend, this is the one you project it would happen. I mean, Emmett is just relentless.
It doesn't matter who Emmett plays. They come out of the court saying, I'm done playing handball this weekend, win or lose.
I was hanging on that. What's he
Well
going to
done.
say that we say? What do we say? It's just something like, I'm tired, but I knew you were going to do better than that.
Yeah, but it was down completely. 3 serves
Not
3.
sure I agree with that call, but
This is, Luis isn't used to reffing people who cover the court better than he does.
Point. Sorry.
He kind of assumes if he
4
can't
serves
get it,
2.
nobody can, but maybe Emmett can.
4 serves
good,
2.
very good point. 4 serves 2, Marcos has that early lead. This is a quarterfinal match. Marcos Chavez, 40 years old
Point.
this year. Goes to the right corner, inside out, kill.
5 serves 2.
And this is a smart serve for so many reasons. It just isolates that 3/4 swing that most people are least comfortable with out of all their swings, that in-between height. It's going so slowly. If you hit a ball hard that height, it's just a big back wall setup. But he's locked in so that you have to play it from waist to chest, and it won't hit the back wall.
Point.
Wow, inside out,
very
paddle.
smooth.
He's so creative with his hands. He attributes it to his big ball play. But he said he just loves handball. We heard him talk about it the other night. when he says, I play indoor big ball. I love it so much. I just love this game. And I mean, just hearing him talk about it.
Yeah, it's clearly means it. He's behind it. No doubt about it.
He said he wants to thank Ibanez and Sal Duenas for playing him indoor big ball, because he said it just has rejuvenated his life. I find it interesting with Marcos is that he's lived for so many years now in the shadows of yourself, Nadi, Toddy, Vince Munoz. And he's not really been the man in the small ball court, but every one of you guys have respected him so much about being just an elite talent. He hasn't played in a lot of these tournaments, but he's always 5th or 6th in line. I mean, even John Robles got more attention, and Chris Watkins got more attention than he did.
Yeah, Robles for sure, and how good he. This is going back 10 years. I mean, and I was a little worried I was not going to be able to work this in, but you just did it for me. You know, I won nationals in 2003.
7 serves 2.
I almost didn't get that in this weekend, but he was my toughest match. He had me 7-5 in a tiebreaker in the quarterfinal. I mean, that could have been an entirely different story. And yeah, at that time he was, like you say, knocking on the door. I was actually very surprised to hear he had never beaten Nadi before, because I know they've had some very close matches.
2 serves 7.
So yeah, we absolutely for a long time he's had everyone's respect, and sticking with it now.
And at the age of 39, he's starting to blossom here. And just remember, a few months back he defeated Dave Fink in the quarterfinal, or excuse me, the semis of that Tucson stop, and then went up against Luis Moreno in the finals.
Well, that historic first webcast you did in Seattle, who did he beat? Good players to get to Nadi. That was a final, was it not? That topsy-turvy match with Nadi could have gone either way.
Well, it should have gone way, but it went in favor of Nadi that tournament. I mean, Nadi had a great comeback. That would have been the first win ever for Marcos against Nadi. He got that yesterday.
4 serves 7.
Finally. 4 serves 7. It's going to be a huge setup for Emmett.
Point.
Marcos was going to come in and crowd Emmett there and decided to give him some room, and then said, I concede.
5 serves 7.
He's going to put this thing away.
Emmett going to his off-speed serve.
Side out.
Wow, that's a flat roll in that right corner.
And it's interesting, I neglected to mention, we're talking a lot about just how much Marcos loves the game and how much Marcos plays, and that hasn't always been the case with Emmett, but right now it is. He says he's playing more than he ever has, and he believes more than anybody in the game, and so it's probably these two right now on the court, the ones logging the most court time right now.
Yep. I agree that they certainly are up there on the list. You throw Luis Moreno's name into that.
Yes. Oh, that was beautiful. Win this rally.
He might just win it. We're going to see a replay, at least of that pirouette that Emmett did.
It was more than a pirouette. Oh, he's in trouble now, though. Oh.
Marcos hits the ball into the ground, and Emmett somehow does this ballerina act and then is able to win the rally.
That's definitely on tonight's highlight reel.
Let's take a look here. Well,
okay.
That's Dave Fink.
It's going to be hard to find. It was a long rally.
Let's do this until you see a guy flip over and do a cartwheel.
Oh,
there it is.
There it is.
There's the cartwheel. Emmett used the offhand.
Yes. Offhand, backhand.
Up the wall.
Cartwheel.
Okay, we don't need to watch the rest of the rally. Let's go back to that cartwheel again. That was pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
But that was a backhand. I didn't realize it was a backhand that did it.
Send that one to ESPN. Yeah, he had to, while supporting himself with one hand, backhand flip it with the other. Remarkable.
I like that shot from Marcos, and Emmett gets it back. Emmett might win this one, and he does.
Marcos, a couple rallies in a row, not capitalizing.
But if you ever want to, there's that shot. Look at Emmett go all the way up and over. That was like a round off.
Handstand.
It was like a Mary Lou Retton round off there.
Side out.
But the more impressive play was after that when Emmett hit that ball off the back wall. after being passed. That was a left-handed
that was a
back.
nice get, but I'm going to say it was not more impressive.
Side out.
Skipperoos here, a few in a row.
6 serves 8.
And while Marcos was being overshadowed by those big names from California, I failed to mention that he was also being overshadowed by Emmett Peixoto in Northern California.
Point.
And that's mainly to his own doing because he just didn't travel much. Now he is traveling a little bit more.
7 serves 8.
Emmett making a nice comeback here, 7-8, giving Marcos that same serve.
Point.
That's like Marcos hit a wall.
8
Yeah, he
serves
let
8.
him in the door with a couple of hand airs, a couple of phenomenal gets by Emmett, and now Emmett's found his groove.
Wow, there's another good one. Makes it to the front wall.
Side out.
It's difficult to hit the back wall from that dotted line. The further you get toward the short line, it's almost
8 serves
impossible,
8.
but Emmett was able to do it.
This one, minus all the histrionics and tantrums, looking a little like the early game. Little mini runs,
serves 8.
hand airs sprinkled in, plenty of athletic action, but neither player really on their game right now.
Now Marcos is pushing Emmett around the court here for the last couple. He goes up to 10-8. Halftime is at 15. Win by 2, going to 25. And Marcos, if he were to take down Emmett Peixoto, you'd probably see a pretty good chance of a very strange thing that is going to happen in this tournament. Dermot Nash played Marcos in the qualifier final. The winner goes into the number 5 through number 8 seeds in a blind draw, and the loser goes to number 4 through number 1 through 4 seeds in a blind draw as well. So that meant Marcos had to play Nadi Alvarado, and Dermot played Alan Garner. Both upset their counterparts, and now if they upset their counterparts again in the next round, they'll be playing each other again.
Qualifier final rematch in the main draw semi.
In the semis.
11 serves 8. 11 serves 8.
Or well, see how this one goes first, but the other matchup
No.
we can't overlook. I think this is a bad matchup for
11.
Celestio, but the Nash-Celestio match, if Celestio happened to win, he's another lucky loser. That would also be historic. But just Celestio's speed, no, he definitely feeds off Lenning's type of game. I'm not sure how he'll do with Nash's control and steadiness.
Side out.
Peixoto saying, hold on, guys, I'm
8
here
serves
too,
11.
and I'm the highest remaining seed on the bottom. Don't forget me.
Well, there is going to be a first, probably. No matter what happens here. First time Emmett would make a semifinals if he wins, and a first time a lucky loser made the semifinals in a tournament if they win. So we're definitely going to have a first here. A personal first for Emmett, and
8 serves 11.
tournament first for the WPH.
Yeah, you gave the stat about how few players are one-time finalists. How it's been the same guys repeatedly, but we're guaranteed a new one-time finalist of this tournament. None of these 4 have been there.
That's true.
Point.
Nice shot right there. Emmett's right hand comes through. Looking a little bit more impressive after that right shoulder surgery. Every tournament, Emmett gets a little bit more back to what we recall him being prior to that torn labrum.
10 serves 11.
Our referee is Luis Cordoba. He was defeated by Aaron Garner, who plays later today. He was up 23-18 and lost 25-23.
We had that. I believe that was the same court where Tyler Hamill made the same kind of comeback to get past Matt McLaughlin.
11 serves 11.
Luis Moreno and Sean Lenning have combined for 11 of those 17 race titles. And that's why
11 serves 11.
you don't see a lot of people repeating as race finalists.
It's hard to break on through there unless Anthony Celestro knocks out Lenning for you. It's not an easy path to the finals.
Lenning has appeared in 6 race finals, second only to Moreno's 9.
Probably Alvarado, the next one on that list.
11 serves 11.
He's been in 5 race finals, never winning a title. He's 0-5. But he's also 40.
Yeah, that format, that 36-hour 4-match and 36-hour format does not suit the veteran player. And finally, this time he had it spread out over 3 days.
Point.
And he got dropped in the first round.
12 serves 11.
It's that in-between serve, making an awkward play. That's
I like that shot right there.
There's the one. He's got the live arm when he wants to, and it looks even faster since he uses it so rarely.
13 serving 11.
If a guy's going pound, pound, pound like that, you eventually adapt to it. But when he just pulls that out of the blue, it's like, whoa, what just happened?
Well, he not only pulled it out, but he also loaded up with a nice little wrinkle too. So he knew he had to get out of there immediately after he hit it, or else it would have all been for naught. Referee should make Emmett changed his shirt. He did tell him to change his gloves, but nonetheless, this is probably exactly what the doctor ordered between these two. You would think that Marcos would have to get a little bit more tired as this wears on because of his age, but he's certainly playing good ball at the moment. It's a 2-minute glove change. We're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll be back. You stick around here at racefor8.com.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
To be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
You guys ready?
Back in after that 2-minute
13 serves 11.
glove and shirt change awarded to Emmett from the referee. My name is Dave Vincent. Emmett Peixoto finds himself trailing 11-13 against Marco Chavez, who just seems to be a crowd favorite wherever he goes. He somehow finds these people that never met him before, but they end up loving him.
Side out.
There's a lot of communities out there rooting for Marcos. I got some text messages from Idaho saying go Marcos, and then
13.
some in Tucson.
Marcos popped in during the break to provide a little analysis of his own, and unfortunately he's duplicated. He was chastising himself a little bit for letting Emmett back in, and that is how Emmett got back in the game. It started with a few Marcos hand errors, and then Emmett capitalized with his own good play. But then Marcos comes in and does this, though. He's made 2 hand errors in the last 3 rallies.
Emmett.
Marcos came into our broadcast booth just to try to
13
pump
serves
himself
13.
up, but it didn't work.
Short.
We're all together
Second
at 13.
serve. Side out.
Marcos makes a living on that right corner kill.
Very wide angle, yeah. Impossible
13
to
serves
retrieve.
13.
I believe we'll have a Dave Fink sighting in this booth, John, as he's going to relieve you at
Side out.
halftime. And there's another side out. But halftime could be in 30 minutes, the way these guys go in and out.
13 serves 13.
Huge setup. Emmett's dangerous with that left from
Point.
there. And now he's serving at half point, meaning
14 serves 13.
score one more and it's a 3-minute break.
Short. Second serve. Side out.
Wow, nice laser from Marcos.
13 serves 14.
Dave Fink will take over at halftime, which is just a couple points away here.
Point.
And now both tied at 14.
Tied at 14.
14 serves 14.
Wow,
There it is again.
unbelievable
Halftime.
shot from Marcos
3
off the
minutes.
back wall. 3-minute
Scores
break
15-14.
for John Bike, Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit for the second half conclusion of this quarterfinal match between Marcos Chavez and Emmett Peixoto. Stay here at racefor8.com.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
Hey, she took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
$14.50.
We are back in Houston, Texas at the
Right. 14 serves
YMCA
15.
second half as Marco Chavez had the lead there, and now Emmett ties it up at 15 with a cracked serve. Ace.
15 serves 15.
Emmett Peixoto versus Marco Chavez.
Short.
Marcos has not had a win against Emmett in tournament play for a few years now, but early
Second
on
serve.
he owned Emmett.
You can remember that match, Dave, from 2006 in Modesto, where both guys were pumping themselves up. You remember
16
Marcos
serves 15.
double fist pumping and Emmett basically imitating him, almost mocking him with the same double fist pump when he closed out that second game 21-20. Emmett went on to win the tiebreaker there. Amazing match, and they've had amazing matches virtually
15 serves
their
16.
entire career.
I don't like that serve right there for Marcos, a little wide. Emmett has an extra zip on him, on his shots right here.
Dave, you've been around handball a long time. Have you ever seen anybody as relaxed and effortless as Marco Chavez? I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. He's not only relaxed
16 serves 15.
in the court, he comes out of the court and has a conversation with you like you're in dinner, at the dinner table.
Well, I think you can learn from that, Dave.
Second serve.
But it's true. It's unbelievable how he can come out of the court and just talk about random things unrelated to his game and not be focused. What you think is not focused, but then he goes in there and plays lights out handball.
Well, you know, Dave, it reminds me of a story I heard about Joe Montana in the 1988 Super Bowl against the Bengals. Walked into the huddle with 2 minutes to go, down by 5, and told his team with 80 yards to go,
16 serves
look, there's
15.
John Candy in the third row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost that type of thing. You get the sense that Marcos is almost just toying with you, even if he doesn't win. Really an
15 serves 16.
amazing player.
Now, at this round of this tournament, Marcos isn't saying much to Emmett, not talking much. But
Hold it.
you and I both have seen many times in the past with Marcos in some of the earlier rounds, he's having full-on conversations in there with you. And it's difficult to play a guy
15 serves
who's
16.
so relaxed. I guess it's part of his gamesmanship. But he'll be commenting on your shots and his shots and talking about things unrelated to handball in the match while you're playing.
Well,
and you
what's
get so
also-
relaxed that you forget that you're actually trying to beat this guy. I like him too much.
What's also amazing about Marcos, Dave, is that you look at him, he's 40 years old.
16
You'd
serves
think
16.
each round he would get a little bit slower, a little bit worse. He gets better with each round. We saw him in Tucson, Dave, at the Junior WPH Benefit Tournament where we raised a lot of money for junior handball clinics. Marcos played 9 matches and was better in each match.
Shut out.
He made the finals of that tournament.
Some very impressive wins, too.
16 serves 16.
We're all together at 16. Emmett serving here.
Short.
That ball was short.
Appeals, I call it short. Both agree. Second serve. Hold it.
Dave, is that an avoidable?
Hold it, hold it.
From Emmett there? He jumps back into the center of the court when the ball clips the right side wall. I think maybe as a player you have an obligation to jump to the right as that ball comes
16
out
serves
towards
16.
the center, because you know it's a huge setup. And as players, we all do it. We're upset with ourselves, so subconsciously you lean towards the middle because you don't want him to hit that easy setup.
16 serves 16.
It's not a call that you'll ever see the referee make, though.
Very rarely. I don't know if it's an avoidable, but I thought Emmett could have moved just a little bit more. He stopped really early in that.
Amazing shot there from Emmett.
Powerful tomahawk from Emmett with the right hand, and that shows you right there that his right shoulder is recuperated from that surgery.
Well, talk about the control, though, of that shot. He hit a dime there on the front wall, exactly where he was aiming.
Marco served
16,
that,
16.
and the referee gave Emmett a point. Now they made the correction, 16-16.
Dave, this is only Marcos's second race event in 3 years. The first being at the LAAC in the race for 8-1, but he's played Emmett in both of them. And these are guys that have faced off so many times in huge Southern California tournaments.
I thought that Marcos played at the Jake Plummer Hell of a Handball bash.
Well, that was the first time that he played Emmett this season, but before that, he hadn't played since the race for 8-1, skipped the entire race for 8-2. Marcos is a guy, Dave, that can show up out of nowhere. You haven't seen him in years. We saw that at the race for 8-1 at the LAAC. Beats Charlie Shanks, who was ranked #1 coming into this season. Then takes Alan Garner to the brink, losing 25-23, 25-23. I know you remember that, Dave.
Okay.
I mean, how do you do
16
that?
16 serve 16.
Emmett always seems to be either improving or on some sort of comeback. Oh, that's
a skip.
Just missed. Marcos says that his big ball game helps him in small ball. Emmett also plays big ball, Dave. These guys are all around stars. Emmett Peixoto could, Dave, jump into the top 4 after this tournament. It's been a long road for him getting back into that top 4, starting unranked when the race started, when he started his race campaign in the race for 8-1 in Fresno.
Marcos is one of those players who, even though he plays more big ball than small ball, is a small ball player that has really no resemblance of a big ball player in the court. See guys like Sampson and
17 serve 16.
Salduenas and even Shorty take big ball shots with the small ball, but Marcos doesn't. He takes traditional small ball shots on every shot, and rarely will he throw one out there.
But you would say the same thing about Marcos playing big ball. He looks like he's playing small ball with the big ball. Marcos is sneaky fast. Emmett is very fast, and you know he's fast, but you don't expect Marcos to get the balls that he does.
Emmett goes for that elite kill shot right there with that ball coming straight down. It's such a tough shot.
16 serve 17.
It looks so easy, though.
Well, I would call that the inside-in right-hand swing, similar to an inside-in tennis swing, but Emmett didn't get his feet in the right position.
Boy, Marcos is laying into this ball right now.
Well, Marcos just hits such a hard ball, and it comes from perfect fundamentals, Dave. This is a guy that was mentored by Vince Munoz, one of the great players of all time. Vince said when he saw Marcos, when Marcos was in his late teens, hey, why don't you stick with me? I'm going to show you how to play this game. And a bunch of national titles and top 5 pro rankings later, you see the results. Emmett, of course, mentored by Dave Chapman. Dave Chapman sent me a picture last night, Dave, via text, of he and Emmett Peixoto 20 years ago. So it just goes to show you
17
the
serve
type
17.
of dedication required here. You thought I was bluffing. And Marcos with an off balance.
Actually, I was ignoring you.
Oh, thought we weren't doing that anymore.
Oh, we weren't.
Thought we were in the
18
nest.
serve 17.
18-17 score here with Marcos in the lead, and this one's going all the way down to the wire.
Cut out.
Well, Marcos just is always in a battle. Even yesterday against Dearman Nash,
17
Dave,
serves 18.
had all the momentum late in that match, was unable to close him out. We've seen him take Alan Garner
Second
right to
serve.
the brink, beat Charlie Shanks. We did see Luis Moreno dominate Marcos in Tucson a couple of months ago.
Point.
Now Emmett sees that Marcos is a little tired. He pushed him left, right, left, right, left. Closes
18
it out
serves
with
18.
a beautiful left-handed kill shot on the left.
Screen.
There's a screen serve.
Emmett, Dave, seems to be hitting the ball so crisply, very similar to Nadi Alvarado Jr., where the ball's hitting the floor and flattening out and straightening out with both hands. Luis Moreno, obviously, Dave, has the ability to do that, as do all the top players. And it's hard to describe unless you have really seen it, but the ball actually hits the floor and almost goes a little bit flat. I mean, most players, the ball jumps towards the side walls. These top players, though, a little bit different. And Marcos, just amazing off the back wall.
When he loads up, Dave.
Well, you know how difficult it is, Dave, to stop on a dime as you're running back and then still hit that back wall shot that low and hard. It's one thing if the ball comes off the front wall and you have time to get behind it, move in with it.
Emmett. Oh, your headband. 2 minutes.
It's going to be a 2-minute headband change here.
Yeah.
See Emmett cleaning off his face there, had that headband on, and Marcos complaining to the referee, and the referee doing the right thing, making that change occur. Stopping the play to make sure these guys get a wipe, as they say.
I don't want him to.
Are we in New York? That's a good look, David. Kyle Greenlaw with the half beard. I think we call that the 5 o'clock shadow. I wouldn't know. I don't grow facial hair. Kyle's a young guy, Dave, that's just now joining the tour, played in his first ever race event here. This is what we're trying to do here, Dave, inspire young guys like this that are so talented.
Well, you see those people in the background walking up those steps.
18
There's
serves,
a viewing
18.
area up there with literally hundreds of. Unfortunately for us, our camera can't toggle all the way around there, but you're only seeing just that, those that paid the $500 seats.
Didn't know that.
That gallery. Well, apparently you just don't look up enough.
Cut out.
I mean, your fans were up there screaming for you. And the last match, side out. Going to 25, and I have a feeling this one's going to be right there.
18 serves 18.
25-23 or overtime.
Hold it.
Emmett's really serving well. We've seen a lot of points and side outs
18
on
serves
airs
18.
kind of in the back court, passing shots that both guys are getting their hands on, but then unable to return. We haven't seen a lot of flat rollouts.
Hold it, hold it, hold it.
Marcos will not like that
Over.
call. He liked it more than I thought he would.
I don't know what he'd dislike about it. He
18
held
serves
Emmett back
18.
from going after it.
You like that serve, Dave? That deep left?
Yes.
Okay.
But Marcos is so good on the revolving door, you have to be perfect with it. And Emmett put it in a perfect spot.
And that's what I'm talking about there, Dave. We've seen a lot of rallies end with those kind of airs, balls checking up on the side walls.
19 serves 18.
There is a glass box, and that's a terrible error from Marcos. In that back left corner, Dave, where you would put your eye guards or extra ball, and the ball hits that,
20
and it's in
serves
play.
18.
I know that some lefties playing in this tournament, Dave, are hitting Z serves, aiming for it. I don't name names, but now it's 3 straight airs from Marcos Chavez, Dave.
Timeout, scores 21, serving 18, 1 minute.
He'll now have to score, Dave, 7 of the next 11 points to win this match. And that's what can happen in these matches. It's close throughout. Now all of a sudden, a quick 3-point spurt.
Yeah, it's interesting. These guys will battle for hours, and then you'll see somebody score 3 or 4 points in a matter of 30 seconds, and you say, well, couldn't you have done that somehow throughout the match? But
I think it comes down to experience and confidence late in these games. I mean, these guys could play to 100, and it could be 95-95, and the same thing I think would happen. Emmett gets a couple of points and pretty much puts himself in the driver's seat.
15 seconds.
Referee is Luis Cordova. Marco Chavez has a big mountain to climb. He has 7 points to go to win, and Emmett only needs
21 serves 18.
3 points to force overtime, where anything could happen. Emmett's just playing really strong right now. A lot of power fist shots. 2-wall pass there for Marcos. Emmett catches it. Big setup for Marcos off the back wall. Goes to the corner, gets it, side out.
Big ranking shakeup, Dave.
18 serves 21.
After this event. Emmett will be a part of that, particularly if he wins this match.
Well, Emmett could be an invite into New York, couldn't he?
Well, he's already invited, but you're talking about a top 4 invite?
Yeah, top 4.
Yeah, he could potentially be. And there's talk now, Dave, of Nadi Alvarado maybe not being able to play in New York. Has an elbow injury, doesn't really know the extent of it. Charlie Shanks will be an invite, but he's also hampered right now with injuries, so we don't know
21
what to expect
18.
from him necessarily.
This can be a setup for Emmett. See what he does here. Ball checks up, right wall, goes corner, kill now at his 22nd point. And Emmett Peixoto is positioning himself to advance to the semifinals.
22 serves 18.
This would be Emmett's 3rd semifinal in race history. Made 2 last season.
Little overhit there from Emmett. Marcos makes him pay for it.
And Marcos hits such a great shot there, and Emmett still almost picks it up.
You know, with Marcos having that such amazing power, he really does. When he loads up, he can really hit the ball hard, especially when he sees that you're just slightly out of position. He seems to be able to blow a ball past you. Why doesn't he use that on his serve and come up with an elite, maybe 2-wall type serve? Because he does have that very explosive.
Well, I think Marcos is a little bit like Greg Maddox, where he sets you up with the soft stuff, and then he does throw one in at 90. You know, a fastball, and it feels like about 105. I think that's part of his strategy. And that's a setup for Marcos, and he misses it. Not a good shot there from Emmett, but right now he's got all the momentum, and Marcos is just 18. A little bit flat at the worst time.
Out.
Both players getting emotional here.
Now, I'm surprised to see Emmett with that reaction there. He's on a big run here.
Hold it, hold it.
That's where Marcos thought Emmett was going to play that shot all the way.
Changed.
Dave, let's take a quick look at that last shot. I know that it was a replay, but what do you do as a player? You serve, and your opponent powers the ball at your offhand. The ball is coming straight at you, not off the side wall. What do you do there in that spot? I mean, it's one of those things that you don't talk about a lot. I believe it was Marcos serving, so it was the very last rally, but it comes up a lot. The ball is right around your waist. You can't really fist it to the ceiling. You're up in the front court. If you try and shoot it, you can't do enough with it to put it down, and it becomes just a setup. We'll just keep it rolling here. Just to talk a little bit of strategy here.
So Emmett's first instinct.
Emmett's going to blast the ball right down the left here.
Yeah, but his first instinct was to come up and get this ball right there, and then.
Well, I'm not talking about the hinder. I'm talking about what can Marcos or any server in that position do? It's a first strike shot, but it's not a setup. That ball's got a lot of heat on it.
Oh, I was thinking he should just go with a sort of an inside-out punch fist down the right wall. Instead, he used 2 walls there. To me, it seems like he should have cut that front wall down to about 3/4 size and hit the ball with a driving fist.
Okay.
Take some of that momentum that Emmett gave him. But see, you're gonna have to slice it with your wrist. You can't square up. It's hit too hard. So he has to bend his wrist and put a slice on it that'll keep it down that right wall. That's what I think he should have done there. He could have also maybe flattened it with a paddle re-kill into the corner, kind of Dave Chapman style. But that requires a lot of patience, and I don't know if you want to do that at 22 or trailing 18-22.
18 serves 22.
I would have opted for that punch fist down the right wall. I like that. See, Marcos goes with a hard serve down the right.
Emmett defended that really well.
Point.
And that looks like indecision there. Sometimes when you think the serve was short.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought you could see it wasn't.
Not sure how that could be a screen, Dave. Marcos serves down the right.
19 serves 22.
He didn't serve behind himself.
Short.
It's funny. It's as if Marcos is listening to me.
Appeal.
Now going with the power serve. This is the first time I've seen it.
I've
really
seen
ever.
it a few times in this match.
I haven't seen him do this power serve. I never seen him hit a ball that hard down the right wall on a serve. But that's me. And
I don't understand that serve at all. Unless Marcos is looking for an overhead ceiling shot. And Marcos puts that right on the wall.
Now at 20 points is Marcos.
You know, Dave, these elite guys are so good at playing the ceiling. They're trying to put the ball on the wall. I know when you're playing one of them, Dave, that you think it's just
20 serves 22.
bad luck for you, but they're aiming for that. No different than when they're aiming for a 1-inch high kill off the back wall. And
wow,
look
a lot
at that wrinkle. But Emmett has good hands, keeps it alive, and gets a big setup. Now Marcos is going to play close.
Flat out.
And Marcos has to be frustrated there, Dave, because he had a good look at the 21st point. Would have been serving instead.
22 serves 20.
Emmett back in the driver's seat. Big setup. Surprised Marcos fists that.
I like that shot, though, from Marcos.
Off balance.
And that's the shot I'm telling you about there. That's the one. But see, he took it with his right hand. I felt he could have taken that with his left, maybe when Emmett hit that driving shot down. I know that was many points back, Dave, but that's the corner kill I was talking about.
Well, now, I agree with you, but the shot came too hard.
It's hard to do it.
He didn't have time to turn around. The shot there, Dave, that he hits with his right is really an all-or-nothing shot. If he doesn't make that shot perfectly, he's completely out of the point. He loses the rally.
20 serves 22.
So it's a gamble, but I think it's a worthwhile gamble, particularly when you're serving.
Well, he likes it because he can shadow Emmett when he comes across after hitting with his right hand. Kind of cuts the play down just a little bit.
Out.
Marcos shoots from the deep court with Emmett 15 feet in front of him. The ball hangs up, not a good play.
22 serves 20.
Marcos could have hit a bounce pass past Emmett to the left and set up an easier kill. And
wow, that was a pretty good shot from Emmett right there.
Hold it. No. He got it anyways, and he hit you.
I agree with the referee.
It was the right call.
There was contact there, and Marcos actually got his hand on it. Right there's the contact, and he had it.
22 serves 20.
Not a good serve. It sounds like a complete mishit there, Dave.
Well, it would have made it.
Okay.
22 serves 20.
Marcos, that's his best shot, and he doesn't make it. Good serve from Emmett. Well defended, though. Sticks Emmett in that back left corner where he's comfortable, but can't end the rally there either.
This is where Marcos is dangerous, when he loads up, when you're slightly out of position.
Look at Emmett off balance there. Oh, that's an amazing get from Emmett. Maybe the best of the tournament.
And the crowd is going to put their hands together for the action here, and there they go. Marcos is really frustrated. He had that rally won a couple times. Emmett just threw that ball to the back wall.
Well, these guys, Emmett played that perfectly. He let the ball go past him, used the momentum of the ball and his dive. He knew he was going into the back wall there, Dave, as soon as Marcos hit that shot.
That's about the 6th time we've seen Marcos hit that exact same ball into the exact same spot.
Well, you have to remember, David, when you're playing Emmett, you're trying to hit the ball just a little bit lower than you normally would because he's so quick and it forces a lot of errors.
23 serves 20. Point.
And now, Dave, it looks like the writing is just about on the wall here.
Well, it's a good showing for Marco Chavez. He
has to be frustrating for him, Dave, to match up against his rival and just come up
short,
just short.
Yeah, but on shots that were, I almost think, ill-advised. There were a couple of those he didn't have to go for those kill shots, where I think he could have won with a more safe shot, like a driving fist, maybe.
This should be a side out.
Over hit.
Instead,
it's going to be the match.
Match.
There it is. Emmett Peixoto takes down Marco Chavez, closes it out here in Houston, Texas, and is in the semifinals. Emmett thanking his fans, the referee, and the line judges for calling such a great game as he exits the court after defeating Marco Chavez and now advancing to the semifinals. Interesting match here. Very quiet. Both players, you know, very little arguments. Referee played little to no role in the outcome of the match. It really just came down to who had the most stamina at the end and who, you know, who could get these balls. They're both cranking it at the end. And
well, I think it was just a matter of execution there at the end. Both guys had their chances. Emmett was able to make enough gets, including that diving shot that he threw into the back wall. That was really the game changer late in the game.
Dermot Nash and Anthony Celesto come up next in about 10-15 minutes. You stick around. We'll have more handball action here. For Dave Fink, Chris Grad, Linda Manning, my name is Dave Vincent. Thanks for tuning in to racefor8.com.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.